Hey guys, welcome to Rough Riders. Sorry about the noise in the back seat. I got a lot of tools and stuff rattling around in the back. A couple of weeks ago, my wife and I came to the decision that we needed to sell the YXZ. Really sad day. We really didn't want to, but we just didn't have space in the garage. It wouldn't fit through the garage door on the trailer, and I wasn't going to drop, $5-10 grand raising the header on the garage door to fit the YXZ. That just would be a pretty significant expense for that sole purpose. So we need to sell it. So I sold it last weekend. Obviously lost some money on it, but it's kind of the thing that had to be done. But I still love off-roading and everything. So I talked my wife into riding a quad. So we're on the hunt for a quad for her, but I decided to get another bike. And as you guys know, if you followed my channel, I used to ride a WR250F. Great bike, love that bike. In fact, the day I sold that to get the YXZ was a bit of a sad and emotional day as well, because that bike had just been so good to me. Love the bike, so I'm excited about getting back on two wheels. Because that's one of the things I did miss with the YXZ. It was an absolute blast to drive. I love that thing, but the entire time I still missed riding a bike. So we're back on the hunt for a bike. So I'm on my way to check out one right now. This is the YZ250F. This is the MX version, where I had the trail bike version, the WR, wide ratio gearbox. This is the MX version. This bike sounds amazing, sounds awesome. It's a 2019 with he says about 20 hours. We're gonna check that out and see if it's true. Kid's a 22-year-old kid in college and working, and is in need of some cash. His parents are on him about getting his own vehicle because he's been using their car to go to school and to work, and so he's kind of hurting for cash. So he's a very motivated seller. He says he took really good care of this thing, so we're going to do a full inspection on this bike and see if this thing has been battered and abused, or if he really took care of it like he said he did. He's only had it about 6 months, so we'll see. So let's go take a look at this bike. Hey guys, so there it is. I went ahead and picked it up. Everything checked out pretty good. Okay, so I did a full detailed walkthrough. I think he wasn't expecting me to do half the stuff that I did. The only potential gotcha, and I don't even think this is going to be an issue, but he did not have the title in his name. The title was in his cousin's name. That his cousin basically bought the bike as a gift for this kid. And hell of a gift, right? But he did sign the title over. The cousin did finance it, so there was a lien on it by Yamaha Motor Finance. They signed the title and handed it over. So the bike should be free and clear. He signed the title over to me. So I'm not anticipating any issues there, but I don't like buying a bike that the current owner doesn't have an actual title on it. So a little uncomfortable with that, but he does have title in hand, and Yamaha did sign off on it. So this should be free and clear. We'll get it back home. I'll get out the camera. We'll do a more thorough walk around and show you the bike. Okay, here it is. We got the bike home. We got it cleaned up. It looks really good. Yesterday when I was looking at the bike, I gave it a very thorough inspection on the motor and radiator and linkage and all that kind of stuff. Everything passed with flying colors. I didn't find any major flags on this thing at all. I'm pretty excited about it. you know, so I wanted to get a closer look at the plastics and stuff today, because yesterday it was just kind of dirty and dusty and everything. So, you know, I couldn't get a sense of how beat up the plastics were. They look to be really good as well. A few scuffs and scratches here and there, nothing serious, nothing major, nothing bent, nothing broken. You see the back fender is kind of kicked a little bit sideways, and that's because it's missing a bolt. There's about 4 or 5 missing bolts on this thing that I'm gonna have to replace, but you know, for 4,500 bucks, I think I can afford to replace a couple of bolts. So yeah, I'm really pleased. 2019 250 YZ250F. So it is an MX bike. We'll see how it does on the trails, but you know, this thing seems to be in excellent shape. Much better than I was expecting. You know, I think the kid knew how to do the oil change and filter change, but I didn't get a sense that he, you know, really knew a whole lot about dirt bikes and stuff like that. So a little worried about, you know, how well he maintained it, but you know, from the inspection yesterday, I did everything short of doing a leak down test and a compression test on this thing, and it did well. This thing fires up cold, fires up hot, no backfires. All the spokes and rims are true. Brake pads look good, discs look good, linkage looks good, bearings look good. You know, everything on this thing is really, really tight. So you know, little bit of concern over the title that I was talking about, but with everything signed off, all the appropriate signatures, I should be fine there as well. So this should be good. I'm not anticipating any problems, but we'll see how it does on the trail. Let me put this camera down, put it on the tripod, and fire it up for you guys. Okay, so yesterday when I was checking this thing out, I let it get completely cold and it fired right up first shot, no choke or anything. I rode it for a bit, got it nice and hot, then I fired it up again, and again no problem. So cold start, hot start didn't seem to make a difference. You know, everything on this thing was spotless, including the airbox and everything. So you know, I think the bike's in good shape, but you know, I do have it sitting in gear, so I'll fire it up real quick. So bike sounds and runs clean, no backfires or anything like that, so I'm super excited about that. He did make a lot of investments into a bunch of aftermarket parts on this thing. So he's got the Pro Taper breakaway levers on both the clutch and the brake. He's got the FMF blue titanium slip-on with the titanium tail on it, as well as the Mega Bomb header, which is titanium. He's got wider foot pegs put on there. He's got the blue Renthal sprocket on there. So you know, the Acerbis chain guard guide and all that kind of stuff. So you know, lots of money invested into this thing on top of the already expensive bike as it was. Obviously all the black plastics, probably not the color I would have went with, but I do have the stock plastics if I want to put those back on, so I do have that as an option. But yeah, I think this bike is it's going to be a good bike. Like I said, we'll see how it does on the trails. If it doesn't, you know, if it's not going to be a great trail bike, I'll turn around and sell it and you know, find a bike that's a little bit more suited to trail. But we're going to try this out. We're going to see how it does. So I'm super excited to kind of get it out. But you know, I think we got a winner here. So really happy. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. And there you go. There's a new ride. So thanks, and we'll see you next time.